Welcome to my channel Sahitya classes. Today we will again discuss about some quizzes on English literature सेक्शन सेंचुरी के ऊपर बेस है जो कि यूजीसी नेट गेट सेट एसएसबी एग्जाम के लिए आप लोगों को हेल्पफुल होगा। जो ये एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं ये वीडियो बहुत ही आप लोगों को बेनिफिशियल हो सकता है। यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन के साथ जो एक आंसर दिया हुआ है उसके साथ एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन भी है और ये आप लोगों के मतलब जो प्रिपरेशन है और थोड़ा स्ट्रांग बन सकता है। सो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन। Poems that are usually short and concerned with praises of love, nature, and the good life are called। तो जो पोएम मतलब प्रेज करता है लव को, नेचर को और गुड लाइफ को, इसको क्या कहते हैं? लिरिक्स, बालड, पोएम, सोनेट। सो इनमें से कौन सा योर आंसर? तो आप लोग वीडियो को पॉज करके आंसर क्या है या मतलब रिमाइंड कर सकते हैं। सो लेट्स नो द आंसर। सो lyrics are a type of poem that are typically short, focused on expressing emotions, particularly love and nature. They often have a musical quality and are meant to be sung or accompanied by music. This type of poem is known for its lyrical and melodic language, and it aims to evoke a sense of beauty and joy. तो लिरिक्स क्या होता है? एक शॉर्ट पोएम होता है जो कि फोकस करता है इमोशन को एक्सप्रेस करना और पर्टिकुलरली लव एंड नेचर को। इसके साथ म्यूजिक भी होता है, गाना के साथ म्यूजिक भी होता है और ये मेलोडिक लैंग्वेज में होता है। सो दिस इज योर लिरिक्स। What is the most dominant cluster of literary genre in Elizabethan England, as celebrated by John Milton and Edmund Spencer? तो एडमंड स्पेंसर और जॉन मिल्टन कौन से जनरा के ऊपर ज्यादातर लिखते थे एलिजाबेथन एरा में? सोनेट, एपिक, दो बार मैं सोनेट लिखती हूँ, सॉरी। सो सोनेट, एपिक, पोएम्स, इनमें से कौन सा है? सो योर आंसर इज व्हाट? Epic. So, during the Elizabethan era in England, the most dominant cluster of literary genre was the epic. This is evident through the works of renowned poets like John Milton and Edmund Spencer, who celebrated and contributed to the epic genre. Epics are long narrative poems that often depict heroic deeds, mythical figures, and grand themes. Milton's Paradise Lost, Spenser's The Fairy Queen are prime example of epic poetry from this period. तो जो एलिजाबेथन टाइम में एपिक का ज़्यादातर एपिक स्टाइल में लिखना ज़्यादातर फेमस था और उसमें से जैसे कि आप लोगों का जॉन मिल्टन, एडमंड स्पेंसर लिख रहे थे उस स्टाइल में। और आप लोगों का एग्जाम है मतलब एग्जाम्पल्स हम लोग ले सकते हैं पैराडाइज लॉस्ट जॉन मिल्टन के और स्पेंसर्स के जो फायरी क्वीन है, ये आप लोगों का एपिक जॉनरा में और एपिक लॉन्ग नैरेटिव पोएम्स जो कि एपिक लॉन्ग नैरेटिव पोएम्स है इसी फॉर्म में उन लोग लिखते थे। और यहाँ क्या होता है इसी लॉन्ग नैरेटिव पोएम्स में जैसे हीरोइक डिड्स को एक्सप्रेस कर मतलब लेते हैं थीम के लिए, मिथिकल फिगर्स लेते हैं, ग्रांड थीम लेते हैं इसी एपिक में। जैसे हिंदू माइथोलॉजी में आप लोगों का जैसे हिंदू एपिक अगर हम लोग बोल रहे हैं रामायण, महाभारत, तो ये सब क्या है? मिथिकल फिगर्स के ऊपर बेस है। सो दिस इज अबाउट योर epic. Next, Martin Luther translated Bible in German language. This work is known as। तो मार्टिन लूथर जो बाइबल जर्मन लैंग्वेज में लिखे हैं, ट्रांसलेट किए हैं जर्मन लैंग्वेज में, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? सेप्टेम्बर टेस्टामेंट, ओल्ड टेस्टामेंट, न्यू टेस्टामेंट, ऑन मोनास्टिक बोथ। So let's see the answer. The correct answer is September Testament. And key points like your Martin Luther's translation of the Bible into German is known as the September Testament. So September Testament refers to Luther's translation of the New Testament, which was first published in September 1522. So this translation played a crucial role in making the scriptures accessible to a broader German-speaking audience and in promoting the Reformation. So this is about the September Testament. Then what is the Old Testament? The Old Testament is the first section of the Christian Bible based primarily upon the Hebrew Bible. It is not specific to Luther's translation work. So first जो old translation था उसको Hebrew Bible. The next न्यू टेस्टामेंट होता क्या है? ये सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द क्रिश्चियन बाइबल रिटन ओरिजिनली इन ग्रीक. तो फर्स्ट जो ओल्ड टेस्टामेंट है ये हेब्रू है और सेकंड जो न्यू टेस्टामेंट है वो ग्रीक लैंग्वेज. While Luther did translate the New Testament, the term September Testament specifically refers to his translation published in September 1522. On monastic oaths, is a work by Martin Luther, but it is not related to his translation of the Bible. This work discusses Luther's views on monasticism and vows taken by monks and nuns. Next, Des was the famous humanist of Holland who considered himself the citizen of the world. तो कौन है जो कि ह्यूमनिस्ट होलैंड के कंसिडर करते हैं हिमसेल्फ सिटीजन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड? इरास्मस, कार्बिन्स, बोकासियो, प्लाटो. So Erasmus, your answer. So Erasmus of Rotterdam was a Dutch Renaissance humanist, Catholic priest, social critic, teacher, and the theologian. He is known as one of the greatest scholars of the Northern Renaissance. Erasmus wrote in a pure Latin style and enjoyed the sobriquet Prince of the Humanists. So Erasmus को बोलते हैं Prince of the Sobriquets. So again, Erasmus' work include In Praise of Folly and his critical edition of New Testament, which laid the groundwork of future biblical scholarship. So this is about your Erasmus. Next, Carbons, जो कि Miguel de Carbons was a writer, Spanish writer, widely regarded as the greatest writer in Spanish language and one of the world's preeminent novelists. Then his most famous work, Don Quixote, is considered the first modern novel and a classic of Western literature. Then Boccaccio, Giovanni Boccaccio was an Italian writer, poet, correspondent of Petrarch, and an important Renaissance humanist. His most notable work, The Decameron, is a collection of novellas that provides a vivid account of life in 14th century Italy. Then Plato was a classical Greek philosopher and student of Socrates. He founded the academy in Athens, one of the earliest institutions of higher learning in Western world. Plato's works, including the Republic, Phaedo, Symposium, have had a profound influence on Western thought and philosophy. Next, which play by Christopher Marlowe is known for its tragic protagonist Dr. Faustus? So कौन से बुक में मतलब ट्रैजिक ट्रेजेडी में क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो के कैरेक्टर है डॉक्टर फर्स्टस? ये तो बहुत ही इजी है. So your answer, this is what? Dr. Faustus. So tragical history of the life and death of Dr. Faustus. This is the full name of the tragedy, Dr. Faustus, the drama. So written in 16th century, 1594, ये performed हुआ था. Next, who is often called the poets? Philip Sidney, Edmund Spenser, John Milton, Thomas Yard. So Edmund Spenser is known as the poets in English literature, a title bestowed upon him by Charles Lamb. He मतलब Charles Lamb उनको poets बुलाते थे. He earned this designation due to his masterful and innovative craftsmanship, which profoundly influenced subsequently generations of poets, including John Milton, John Keats, William Wordsworth, and His epic, The Fairy Queen, are the celebrated for their rich imagery, complex allegory, and pioneering use of poetic forms such as the Spenserian stanza. The sonnet form was popularized in English poetry during this period by which of the following इनमें से कौन है जो कि इंग्लिश पोएट्री को पॉपुलराइज सोनेट को पॉपुलराइज किए थे इंग्लिश पोएट्री में जॉन मिल्टन क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो एडमंड स्पेंसर और सार थॉमस यार्ड एंड हेनरी होवार्ड ऑल ऑफ सारे सो इनमें से कौन है जो कि सोनेट को पॉपुलराइज किए थे इंग्लिश पोएट्री में so Henry Howard Apsare was an English nobleman, politician, and poet. He was one of the founders of English Renaissance poetry and was the last known person to have been executed at the insistence of King Henry VIII. His name is usually associated with literature with that of the poet Sir Thomas Yates. So, owing largely to the powerful position of his father Thomas Howard, third Duke of Norfolk, Henry took a prominent part in court life and served as a soldier both in France and in Scotland. तो आप लोगों का जो आंसर है सर थॉमस यार्ड एंड हेनरी होवर्ड ऑल ऑफ सॉरी these two figures what popularized sonnet in English poetry. So these are the next. The first volume of English Renaissance poetry is often associated with which publication? So the first volume of English Renaissance poetry is often associated with which publication? Astopel and Stella, Totals Miscellany, then you're the Fairy Queen, and Handful of Pleasant Delights. So this is what songs and sonnets usually called Totals Miscellany was the first printed anthology of English poetry and it was published in 1557 by Richard Total. But it is not a single person, it was not written by a single person, but was a correction that compiled by Richard Total and features works by several poets like your Sir Thomas Yard, Henry Howard, Olaf Surrey. Other poets include Nicholas Grimald and Thomas Norton. So these are the few questions on 16th century. And if you like my um, video or questions or your additional information, then please like, share, and subscribe so that I can bring more and more videos to you. Thank you.